Hey my friend, welcome to my channel again. This is Kim here with another vocal tip video today. This is the video you've all been waiting for. How to sing in your super high mixed voice. Do you feel like every time you try and sing those high notes up in your range, you feel like you're hitting a ceiling and you can't seem to blow past it? No matter how much you push, strain, or yell, you just can't seem to hit those high notes you've been dreaming of. Then people around you just tell you, "Yo dude, leave those high notes for someone else. You're either born with it or you're not." Well, today I'm here to bust that myth for you. Because as I always tell my students, it can be done. And I want you to repeat it after me. It can be done. The biggest problem I've noticed that a lot of people run into when singing high notes is strain and tension, and feeling like they've hit a ceiling in their voice and can no longer sing any higher. You end up squeezing, straining your voice, only to lose it in a matter of minutes. Well, if that's happening to you, you've come to the right place, and you definitely want to finish watching this video. Because today I want to show you a few exercises and a few concepts that's finally going to help you bust through that plateau, so you can finally sing those high notes you've been dreaming of with more ease, power, range, and freedom. The first way is to add a semi-occluded vocal tract exercise, SOVT for short. So you might be wondering what a semi-occluded vocal tract exercise is. So it's basically an exercise where something partially closes or seals the space at the mouth. And because the mouth is partially sealed off, some of the excited energy that's leaving the mouth whilst you sing gets reflected back in the vocal folds, hence creating some back pressure that puts your vocal folds in a more mixed configuration. If you're a student of the voice or have been for a while, semi-occlusion wouldn't be a foreign concept to you. But it's likely that most of the semi-occluded exercises you've seen are usually occluded at the mouth. But today I'm going to show you an awesome exercise that's occluded at the nose. But before we proceed, I again have to credit my voice mentor, Tyler Wysong, for showing me this awesome exercise. First, you want to pinch your nose and say sha sho sha sha sho sha. Now, the reason why we use sha at the start is to encourage flow phonation. The sha at the start teaches your body to use the right amount of air and pressure needed to sing those higher notes, like so. Also, one more thing I'd like to mention is you don't want to jam the sound into your nose like this. What's up, doc? That's too much. But rather, I want you to encourage a bit of acoustic energy traveling up into your nasal cavity, like so. Sha, sho, sha. And not sha, sho, sha. You just want a bit of wow, wow, wow sound when you pinch and let go. Sha, sho, sha. So a bit of wow, wow, wow sound happening. Just a little bit of energy. Sha, sho, sha. So what this does is it allows a bit of velopharyngeal opening, VPO for short, which allows a bit of sound and air to pass through to your nasal cavity. So imagine this is your back throat wall, and this is your soft palate, and it sort of moves like this, and this is the pathway up into your nasal cavity. So when your soft palate is lowered like this, it allows a tiny opening to allow sound to travel up to your nasal cavity. So the sound will become a bit more nasalized, but it's not really at all. We're not aiming for a nasalized sound. We just want to encourage a bit of acoustic energy traveling up into your nasal cavity. But if you block it off like this, it allows more sound to travel out from your mouth, making it sound mouthy like this. "Hey bud, how you doing?" It's almost like when you're calling to work whilst you're sick. "Hey bud, I'm really not feeling that great today. I think I have a really bad cold or something." So it sounds really mouthy. But if you allow a bit of energy to pass through into your nose, it'll sound a little brighter, like this. "Hey, hey." But you don't want to say hey like this. This is too much. Just a little bit, like so. Versus, "Hey man, how you doing?" "Hey man, how you doing?" Research has actually shown that allowing some acoustic energy to travel up into your nasal cavity whilst we sing actually does some pretty interesting things to your voice. In a good way. Now, this exercise isn't supposed to sound good, so don't try and make it sound good. It may even sound a little silly, but just have fun with it. Think of it as a tool to help you navigate throughout your range with more ease. This is just a means to an end, and not a finished sound. And don't worry, we're not trying to sound like Bugs Bunny when we sing. Using VPO is going to help you get accustomed to the feeling of singing in a more mixed configuration. Basically, it helps you internalize that feeling of singing in your mixed. Opening the velo port is going to teach the vocal cords to be positioned in a more mixed configuration. It actually teaches your vocal cords how to navigate throughout your range with more ease and actually stabilizes the whole situation. Now, the second concept is the use of an emotional affect. So what this encourages is a more stable vocal tract. Because when singing, there's just too many things going on at once inside our throat. We can't micromanage everything. So we have to find a useful strategy to help us manage and stabilize the whole situation inside and to help us balance out all the mechanisms in our voice. So a really good one would be a concerned kind of feeling. Like you're really worried about something. Maybe you're like a lost child, or you can't find something that's really important to you, or you lost your wallet or keys or your phone. Like, oh my gosh, where is it? Oh my gosh. Like this really concerned kind of feeling. So we're going to learn how to apply this concept to the exercise later on in this video. And the next concept I'd like to talk about is thinking down to sing higher. And this also brings me to the next point of support. Now, support is actually a really confusing and controversial topic. Well, some schools of teaching believes that we should have an expanded rib cage or a suspended rib cage. And some believe that we have to flex our abs like we're doing a plank. And the list goes on and on. But what I've found over the years, studying from really good voice teachers, and also what I've found that actually works, is to actually feel a down and out pressure in our lower abdomen, right below your belly button. Now to feel this sensation, I want you to take an S sound and try and make a pulsing S sound, like this. And whilst doing that, I want you to try and put your hand on your lower abdomen below your belly button and see what happens. You should feel your lower abdomen push slightly down and out. You should kind of feel a grounded sort of feeling. What this actually does is it creates more subglottal pressure. So as you ascend up your range, it's easy to get caught in the mistake of pulling up. So what engaging the support system does is it can help alleviate some of the tension and strain. It can take off some of the workload in your throat. So feeling a sense of concernedness and a down and out pressure really teaches your body how to stabilize everything here, especially your larynx. And it prevents your larynx from popping up when you sing higher. So feeling a sense of concernedness along with a downward and out pressure really helps stabilizes everything in your throat, and it really encourages your larynx to stay in a really neutral position, which is what you want. Now we're going to start an octave below middle C, and I promise you, we're going to hit those high notes. Now we're going to start an octave below middle C. Sha, 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 Now that felt really effortless and it felt really easy. I didn't feel like I had to push any harder for those high notes, but I did give it the right amount of energy. So if you try and put it in a longer scale, we can use the sha as an onset and we can try and normalize the sound a little bit like so. Sha,
troubled water.
Like so. And you just try and put the lyrics where the exercise was. So here's one more example of how you can apply VPO to a song. I'm gonna use a phrase from Always Remember Us This Way by Lady Gaga.
So when I'm all choked up and I can't find the words. So when I'm all choked up and I can't find the words. Every time we say goodbye, baby, it hurts. When the sun goes down and a band won't play, I'll always remember us this way.
So I really believe that VPO does make singing a lot easier, especially your high notes. Just now that example was sung to a B below the male tenor high C. Don't get me wrong, it does take the right amount of energy, but it shouldn't feel like you have to strain or push to hit those high notes. If you're straining or pushing to hit those high notes, then you're doing something wrong. So before I end this video, I'd like to take a moment to encourage you all to work on those difficult things in singing, whether it be your falsetto, head voice, or mixed voice. You might already be able to sing in your mixed voice, but you might have problems with your riffs and runs. Whatever it may be, just remember to always never give up. Even if other people don't believe in you, just remember always to never give up. Never give up. Whether other people might think, oh, he's not a good singer. Who cares what they think? Just work on yourself. It can be done. You can improve. You can get better. Put into practice every day. Everything can be learned. I'm telling you, just because you can't do it right now doesn't mean you'll never be able to do it. It just takes time. Again, if you guys want to learn how to sing with more ease, power, range, freedom, and confidence, definitely hit the subscribe button because I'll be releasing videos regularly to help you guys sing better and help you hit those high notes. And if you guys got any questions, feel free to comment down below. I'll try my best to answer them. Of course, if you've watched this far, come on, give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching and have a great one. See ya.